Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Cal Kestis from the Jedi Survivor video game. Now at the time of recording this video, nobody knows too much about the new game Jedi Survivor because it isn't out yet. However, we obviously do know that it is the sequel to the Jedi Fallen Order video game, which I have played through. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great video game. You obviously play as Cal Kestis. That is the sort of main character that you play as you go through. But this version of him is from Jedi Survivor, which means he's in a completely different outfit. If you are a collector of the Black Series, then you may have the figure from the Jedi Fallen Order video game. But if you're a Vintage Collection collector, then this is the first time you're going to be able to get your hands on this character dressed as he is in the new video game. It's a little bit strange, obviously, because I think most collectors of the Vintage Collection that wanted Cal Kestis wanted him how he was presented in Jedi Fallen Order. But it is what it is. Let's have a look at the card back anyway. So there it is, Jedi Survivor. This isn't the first time that we've had the Jedi Survivor logo, because we had the 3-pack. Where you've got some of the enemies that he has to fight, some of the troopers and the Magna Guards and things like that. There's a droid in there as well. But there you go. It's like a half decent card back. You can see there, Mr. Cal Kestis. I think it's 5 years on from Fallen Order. He's still got his droid BD1 there on his back. So no doubt in the video game you're going to be able to do things with the BD1 droid, just like you were in the first game. And there he is, yeah. I mean, the figure in the bubble looks to represent what he looks like on the card back. You've got a bit of sort of scenery behind him there. Green name pill, Kenner logo at the bottom. And there on the back is the rest of the wave. So far, I have reviewed Luke Skywalker and Cassian Andor and the Artillery Stormtrooper. All of those are on the channel. Cal Kestis is VC265. So we still have Velsartha and the Klatooinian Raider to go within this wave. They will be on the channel in the next few days. Alright then, so without further ado, let's open the figure and check him out. Okay then, so here is Cal Kestis out of the packaging. I've just got him in a simple pose there with the lightsaber held in both hands, just to show that you are able to do that. We've got BD1 accessory droid there, and we have the unlit lightsaber there, which does have a peg on it with the peg hole just this side on his belt. I will show you that in a second. He has his blaster in his holster on his leg, which looks really, really good. Fits like a glove. No problem with that. It's not going to come out anytime soon. And we will have a look at that accessory as well. I just wanted to show you the figure with all the accessories just as an overview quickly, and then we'll have a look at the figure much, much closer. Alright, so first off, let's take a look at the droid BD1. As far as I'm aware, this is the first time that we've had this droid of this type in 3 3/4 inch scale. You can see he has the red flashes of paint down the side of his leg and on the side of his head. Those little ear type antenna things do not move. They are in one position as far as I can tell. They are not articulated. However, the head is articulated. The head is on a little ball, so you can move it around at your leisure. The legs are just swivel. Now obviously this thing is tiny, so it's not going to have too much articulation. But a bit like the droid Lola that came with the Obi-Wan figure, it's a little bit like that, I guess. Sort of minimal articulation, probably a bit more than I thought that they would do. He's got that little bit of silver paint there, and his eyes, one black and one white. So he's pretty cool. Now, I guess the disappointing thing about this is that there's nothing that I can tell that suggests that you can put this droid on the back of Cal Kestis' back or on his shoulder or anything like that. Which is, I think, basically what he does in the game. I don't think you can do that, but there's the droid anyway. There's the unlit lightsaber. You can see there it's all silver with the handle. Has got some nice detailing on there, where he grips the lightsaber. That's pretty good, and obviously that's just the peg that's going to go into his leg. And here's the lit lightsaber here, so it's exactly the same hilt. Now again, I think in the game, at least in Fallen Order, you can have him with a double bladed lightsaber. It doesn't look like you've got the option with this. They don't like join together or anything like that. But there you go, a nice blue lightsaber. And here's his blaster. Quite a simple blaster there, all one colour with a bit of brown paint for the handle. It fits really, really well in the holster. I haven't put it in his hand yet. We will do that in a second, but I just wanted to take a look at the figure next. Right then, so moving on to the figure, there is the head sculpt, and I've got to say it's a really, really nice head sculpt there. It looks pretty much like the character on the card back. Obviously, it is 5 years on from Fallen Order, so he is going to look a little bit different from what he did in the original game. You can see he's got a bit of stubble there, and his hair's painted brown. But the eyes are straight, eyebrows are straight, everything looks good on that. Photo reel looks really good. I mean, that there is that's a great head sculpt for the size. That is awesome. You can see that he has like a blue tunic with a brown belt going across. He has that yellow sort of flash on the shoulder there, and he's wearing like a sort of creamy white shirt underneath. He has these silver things on the sleeve of the shirt. Not 100% sure what they are, but what I do like about this, I do like the way that they've got the effect of his sleeves being rolled up to his elbow. I think that's really, really good. And obviously he's got his skin tone there. But if you look at that, it's all ruffled up, all scrunched together. I think they've done that really, really well. Same with the other arm as well. That thing over his shoulder, the belt goes all the way round. And then you've got his actual belt around his waist, which is actually two-tone colour. You've got like a sort of a light grey cream colour on one side and then a dark grey on the other with the holster on his leg. And this piece here is a soft plastic, so that's going to move with his leg, no problem at all. As I said, the blaster does fit into the holster really, really well. If we just lift up his shirt here, you can see a little bit of detail on his buckle there, and then he has some other bits going around there, maybe some rounds of ammunition or something like that on the belt. His trousers or pants are a sort of dark olive colour, I guess. Almost brown, but definitely a hint of green in there. And they are like cargo trousers. They've got the pockets on the side, which is pretty cool. And once again, the sculpting work that they've got there is really, really nice. He has these boot coverings on his ankles there, and the same colour shoes as the trousers. So a really nice looking figure. Of course, if you're not into the video games, then maybe you're going to want to pass on this figure. But in terms of like the sculpting and everything, it's really, really nice. And I'm guessing, some people might be able to use this one for customizations or something like that. But I think he's looking pretty good. Right, let's try out the blaster in his hand. So the blaster there is designed to go into his left hand because he does have the trigger finger there. On his right hand, it's designed to hold the lightsaber. There is the tiny peg hole for his unlit lightsaber. And that's a really deep peg hole as well. This goes really far in, so it'll be nice and secure there. And of course, with the articulation, it kind of gets in the way a little bit, but you can just move it behind like that, and then you can get the full motion of his legs, which is pretty cool. We will be going over the articulation in a second as well. But there you go. There is the blaster in his hand, and that's a really secure fit. Looks pretty cool. As for the articulation, the head is on a ball hinge, like a barbell thing, which is good. Loads of motion there. Ball hinges on the shoulders, really easy to move those. Got the hinges at the elbows, hinges at the wrists with the swivel. He has a swivel waist, which is actually, that is on a ball as well, so you get a bit of motion on there. You have the new style hips. We have a split at the top of the thigh, which is hidden quite well with the pockets and everything. I think that's quite good. You have the hinge at the knee, and then we have the hinge and the rocker on the ankle. So all the modern articulation that you're going to want from a figure for the vintage collection, of course, especially for these new sculpts. And yeah, it's looking really, really good. And you're going to be able to get him into all sorts of good poses. Okay then, and finally I just wanted to put him up against two other figures so you get a sense of scale of how tall the figure is. And he's pretty much the same height as the trooper there on the right, the scout trooper. And, obviously gets dwarfed by the KX security droid because they're super tall figures. But you can just get a bit of a sense of the scale of the figures there. And obviously these two guys he will be sort of up against in the new video game, which will be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to playing it. I enjoyed the first game immensely, so I'm looking forward to this one as well. Not 100% sure if I necessarily want more characters from the computer games, the video games. If it is up to me, we'd get more figures from the live action and things like that. But I know there's a market for this. A lot of people like the video game figures and everything. And Cal Kestis is definitely a really, really nice figure. And, part of a really good wave. So there you go then, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and channel members, and we shall see you on the next one.